Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Did everyone get a coffee and some pastries? All right, thanks for coming out. I've been here before. I really love it. It's really nice to see everybody. Thank you, everyone in the festival. Thank you, everyone who worked here. It was really cool to be at the public library and the school and also see all these walls. We've seen how murals and art could really change the face of Oahu, and it's nice to see that same thing happening here. So I'm really, really grateful to be here, and thank you very, very much. That's as good as that gets. All right, so if you don't know, I am an illustrator and a cartoonist. I live in Los Angeles, California. A long time ago, I wanted to be an artist, and I didn't really know what that was, but I just was like, I'm gonna create as much as humanly possible, you know? I thought I could be in the Museum of Modern Art. I thought I could be but Basquiat or something like that. I had dreams to be that way, you know. And obviously that didn't work out. But no, not yet. When I'm dead, maybe. So next week. No, but I'll be alive next week. So I moved to San Francisco. I went to art school for 2 months in 1994. So that didn't really take, but I feel like I thought I could make my way as an artist just on my own. So I really leaned into self-publishing and DIY type culture. That means doing graffiti, making your own comics, publishing your own zines, stealing from printers like Kinko's and places like that. And I moved to San Francisco in 2004. And I would leave comic books in bathrooms at bars. I would leave zines with every single person. I was working at a coffee shop, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I just knew I wanted to do art, and it seemed to be going fine. I was working at a coffee shop, and a guy would come in every morning, and he introduced himself, and we became friends. And he said, "Hey, I'm like, here's some comics, here's some zines, here's some, so starting, because art essentially is just communication. That's all it is, you know what I mean? It's just us trying to talk to each other in drawing form." And eventually he was like, I did a TV show called Dr. Katz. I did another one called Home Movies, and I'm working at Adult Swim right now on a show called Lucy, Daughter of the Devil, which I've still never seen. And I was like, oh, that's great. And he's like, Adult Swim is, canceling my show, and they're asking me to make another pilot to see if they'll rebuy it. He's like, and I don't think I can do this with my life. And I was like, oh man, that's wild. I've never heard of such a thing, you know? So he was kind of down in the dumps. I was a struggling illustrator, cartoonist. And then a couple of years passed by, and I still continued to try to be an artist. And then I guess This talk's supposed to be about perspective, and I guess I'm trying to get there somehow. But what happened was he was like, hey, I see your artwork. I see what you're trying to do with your artwork. Don't you ever think it should move? And I was like, no, I never thought of it that way. He's like, let's see your artwork. Let's see it move. And let's see it happen. And I was just like, oh. So once I found out how to animate art, I was like, oh, my perspective is now completely changed. So I was focusing on trying to be an artist. I mean, I was entering juried competitions and just failing, just terribly. So so I changed my perspective to just be I leaned into who I really was and just into cartooning and into art. And then once I saw it move, I was like, that was the best day of my entire life. My perspective was completely changed at that point. So I was I am a cartoonist now, and I was shoulders down, relaxed. And I had an art show in San Francisco that I was really proud of, and I had a little 20, 30-second loop animation playing in the corner. And this guy, Lauren, walks up, the guy from the cartoons, and he's like, hey, you ever think about making a TV show? And I was like, I've never thought about making a TV show, Who doesn't want a TV show? But he's like, I got a really great idea, come by my studio. So he worked on 16th, and I worked on 24th. I just ride my bike down the street, and I went to his studio. It was just the two of us. And he was like, I have a TV show about a family in a burger restaurant, all right? He's like, and they live next to a mortuary. and they steal the meat from the dead bodies, and they're cannibals, and they're gonna go, it's gonna be called Bob's Burgers, it's gonna be a cannibal burger show. And I was like, whoa. I was like, sure, let's do it. So if you look online, there's some really, really loose like ink drawings of like a hand in a meat grinder and stuff like that from the early stuff. And then, I don't know, that kept working, weirdly enough. And so we just started the show, and we started, like each character took about a year to make, from stop to finish. You can see how loose they are at the beginning and how tight they became by the end. We just worked on that forever and ever, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And my perspective started changing and changing more. Like I was trying to be an artist, now I'm like moving into the television space. And then like once you move into the television space, like you're collaborating on a level that you're so uncomfortable with, it's like insane. Like it's like you almost like lose a sense of who you are as an artist at some point, So that was a really big change of perspective as well. And then it got picked up and put on Fox, and I was like, whoa, I think I made it. So I went from like working in a coffee shop to trying to have art shows to having a TV show, and then a year later I was at Nickelodeon running my own TV show. So yeah, my perspective changed pretty hard, pretty quickly. And now I can just be in Kauai and paint on libraries like I was supposed to in the first place. So I think I've come full circle. Thank you. I know cartooning is, it seems, even to me still, cartooning seems very secretive and very guarded and locked, and it's a very strange, hard world to get into. I mean, you're pretty isolated out here from Hollywood and all that garbage, so I really expected this to be more of a Q&A than to talk about perspective, And I know people have questions, and I want to answer your questions, and I will answer everyone's questions. But I'm really better at just making fun of you or, like talking about myself in a great way to make me look awesome. So that's what I'm super good at. So if anyone has any questions, you're laughing. See, this is good. I'm killing it. Oh, kidding. All right. Hold on. Another break. No, but if anyone has any questions, please ask me, because this is a more fun part of the talk than me just rambling on. Let's go. Hands up. First question.
Hey, Jay. Hey. Or can I just...
Yeah.
Hello. How did you develop your style over time?
Developing a style, that's a really great question, because creating iconic characters is essential to the job of cartooning, absolutely. And I looked at The Simpsons, because the first time I ever saw a cartoon was, there used to be a TV, for all you people that are young, you probably don't know, this woman named Tracy Ullman. She's a sketch comedian, and she did a show called The Tracy Ullman Show. During the Tracy Ullman Show, they would air 5 minutes of The Simpsons in between the skits, kind of like Saturday Night Live style. And that's the first time The Simpsons was ever on the air. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, how do you do that? And I had no idea how. But The Simpsons has always been the gold standard for everything. I mean, I know artists who draw The Simpsons and sell paintings of The Simpsons, right? What? I know people have a career that didn't even create it, that have a career from The Simpsons, So that's an interesting thing to think about. But creating your own character, what Matt Groening said is if you turn the lights out in Springfield, you're going to see every character as a silhouette. And you can name every character in that town just off the shape of their hair and how their body looks. So for me personally, I was like, how can I create an iconic family? Bunny ears, different shaped hair. So if you take the Bob's Burgers cast and you turn the lights off on all the main characters, you know who everyone is. And that was one of the most important moments of character development that I ever got. And I was like, I wonder if this works. And yeah, I went to Comic-Con the year after Bob's aired and everyone had the bunny ears on. I was just like, yes. Questions, let's go. I think that's gonna be different for everybody financially, really, you know what I mean? I still work, I'm not some rich guy. I mean, I have been once in a while, but not, I'm pretty much always grinding. I've been rich twice, and it was cool. I flew first class and wasted all my money and saved nothing. It was smart. But financially, I don't know, I'd always rather be famous than rich. And that's what I've always told myself, always. It's way more important. It's way more important to be an artist, and then all your favorite artists are dead, and they're all who cares? Like, just be the best you possibly can be. So, financially, it's the hard. I don't know. Just find out. It's like that's so stupid, but find a balance of how you can like suffer the least with creating the most. Really, yeah. Yeah, I know. But that's really it, And I don't know. Just like, and don't sacrifice your materials either. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of it. Like, just get the best paper, get the best framing, get the present yourself as the best, and people will start believing that. So yeah, right on.
Yes. Hi, Jay.
Hey.
I'm wondering, before you get into a creative space or like before you start drawing, sketching, whatever, how do you take care of yourself before? Like, what are your needs to get you in that space? And
No one likes this one either.
Besides the hangover.
I get hangover. It's like clean your studio as best as you possibly can. That's literally the best trick in the world. Like if you're ever blocked for a second, organize. And by the time you're done cleaning, which sucks, you're gonna wanna start creating. It's just like it's the golden rule as far as I'm concerned. Like get the right materials, ready for the job, clean your space as best you can, and it's so stupid you'll be like, all right, now I can work. It works. It sucks, but it works. No one wants to do it.
Who is one of your favorite niche characters you've designed? Not just Bob's, in general.
I don't know. Niche. I got to work with Snoop Dogg one time. I got to draw him. And I got to work with Anthony Bourdain also, and to draw him. Those were like the two characters I was like, oof, that was like big moments, yeah. So I think that was the best. And I think Anthony Bourdain probably, because, all the kids that worked on Sanjay and Craig at Nickelodeon, another cartoon I did, they didn't know who he was. It was super weird. And like 10 years later, they're like, oh, dude. So probably him. Yeah, he was cool. He was in an airport, and he was like on Twitter, and he was like, I'm doing an Ask Me Anything. And someone asked him what his favorite cartoons were. And he said Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Sanjay and Craig. So we called him that day. Yeah, worked out. All right, yes.
Hi, Jay.
Hi.
I have two questions. The first one is, did you ever feel like you needed a portfolio? And secondly, who were your heroes?
Oh, yeah. Portfolio? Yeah, I guess we all do now, though. We all have Instagram. We all have YouTube. We have all this space now. I had nothing. I didn't have a cell phone until I was in my late 20s, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess that's just kind of like a part of the thing now is everyone has a portfolio, Like using social media the most is super important. That's what I always tell people. They're like, how can people see my art? I'm like, dude, I couldn't even get a t-shirt printed when I was younger, let alone, order it online with a click. So portfolios, yeah, just show your best work always if you can, show off. That's like all we do. And who do I care about? I love, like Charles Schultz, Snoopy, and like Jim Davis, Garfield. Those are like my biggest inspirations for artwork, for sure. I love them.
I was gonna say, I know we were talking a little bit earlier about how working with clients,
Yeah.
and sometimes it could be a little bit difficult, which makes the project difficult to work on and to maintain like pure creativity and enjoyment in the project. And sometimes big corporations are a little bit more difficult to work with. How do you maintain a positive perspective or get through a lot of those difficulties when working with big teams and whatnot in order to still have fun doing the art and enjoy the project to do your best work?
I always see it as like a river that leads to the ocean, and the ocean being the final product. And we start at the top of the hill. And like when you're working with clients and or people that are difficult and or big organizations, the river's gonna run whether you want it to or not, right? It's gonna head towards the ocean. So it's up to you to like shape where the water goes, but not obstruct the water. You know what I mean? That's like literally some great advice, and you're welcome. So yeah, it's manipulate, that's it.
That'll be 10,000.
The best piece of advice I ever got, though, which I was talking to Shar about this earlier, was if you're ever working with people, if you're ever working with clients or big people that you're nervous about, all these situations, you can say, yeah, believe in yourself. Sure, you can say that all you want, but if you ever feel like you're being taken advantage of in a situation, like if you feel that, it's because it's true. Literally. And like that's a hard thing to like take. But it's like, no, believe in yourself. Yeah, but that's it. Like if you feel it, it's happening. So always know that in a creative situation, because once you feel like they're like working you over, it's because they're screwing you over. You know, learn that. It's important.
It was really awesome watching you put the wall up over by the library.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna enjoy that for a while. Kind of going off that last question, how much of what you do now fulfills that creative thing?
Yeah.
Like, is just the thing that you want to do to create, or is work, and then you have all of the other stuff that you still want to create? And then the second part of it is, can you talk a little bit about the fan art episode and how that felt, kind of like having all of that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So what's the first question again? One more time. You lost me.
How it is just working on all of the stuff that you do.
Okay, yeah. I see work as a challenge sometimes, though. If I'm like going after like a big brand, that's like creatively satisfying to me because I want to like defeat that giant project. You know what I mean? It's like with myself. So am I ever satisfied creatively? Never. Like, it sucks to say I'm not happy, but I'm not. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's just project to project. Like once a high goes down, I'm chasing the next one. So, I mean, that's not a bad way to live, right? It's probably super unhealthy, but it's like I love it. And I'm addicted to it, you know? So, yeah, definitely that. So it's just like tackling projects one after the next. And this is, you know, so I love, it's very rare that I don't love what I'm doing. You know, I'm fortunate to be in that situation. So yeah, I don't really take jobs I hate. Except for like this. No, stop it. And then the fan art's amazing. It blows your mind. You know what I mean? If there was kids those kids here, but the first time Bob's Burgers, I was on the internet and I saw some adult versions. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. I was like, that's cool. I've made it. Yeah. Question.
So what's your process on saying yes or no to a project when you're approached with one?
I don't know. A lot of factors, really. I mean, I'm a people pleaser too, though. So it's like I want to like make them happy. You know, another sick trait I have. But I guess it's like financially, is it going to be good? Like, are they going to be difficult? Like, how much work are they asking for? You know, it's another one of those things where like, what's the scope of the project? How fast do they want it? And like, you know, a good way to do that also is to like limit people's revisions. I know it sounds kind of weird up front, but be like, I'm going to give you 3 turns to talk to me. And by the third one, you have to live with your choices, you know? So that really helps to put in your contract. Yeah, limited revisions. Or like checkpoints, like once we made it here, we're not going back. It's like, put it in writing. Yeah, so stuff like that will really help. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, but kind of also like, do you have a compass as far as what projects you're going to be like, definitely yes, or I don't want to do?
No, not at all. No, I would definitely. If it sounds crazy or I don't know. I don't know. If it was weird or something, I don't think so. I mean, they asked me to come on to Central Park and the Great North to like do more characters, and the money was terrible, so I said no. Yeah, based on financially, which sounds stupid, but you know, it was. And I didn't need it, so it's not as an iconic show. And they'll suffer for that.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. So when people come to you now, they know your style.
I hope so.
Right. When you were young and developing, did you feel pressure to do what they wanted? Did you come through in the projects, or did you just do what they wanted? You know what I mean? Before you had like your solid.
Yeah, I've
style.
definitely taken some jobs on where I'm like, why did you hire me to do this when you just want someone else's style? You know what I mean? That does happen occasionally, but you just gotta kind of be like, get out of here. You know, you just gotta kind of get away from that situation. It's like anyone could do that, then I shouldn't be in the room. You know, so that's really what it is. But I've definitely taken some stupid jobs on for sure. Yeah, and done other things that I didn't want to do. Yeah, I'd always rather be drawing than
Okay, so tall woman to tall man.
Yeah.
Do you play sports? Have you played sports? Can we play one-on-one?
I'm like viciously uncoordinated.
Okay, so I'll meet you at the court at the elementary school.
I'm good at cheering. I'm good at camaraderie. I'm good at drinking and like, I'm good at that. Like really, I'm a great guest. I'm an excellent guest.
Okay, fair. I'll remember that.
Questions? Come on, gang. You got them. Let's talk about it. We got time.
There's one. One per customer.
I'm an interesting person. Come on.
I'm just.
No one raised their hand. I'll just keep it rolling. you've mentioned that you've felt like there's points in your career where you feel like you've made it. But does that ever slow you down when it comes to your outreach, and maybe what's your process with your outreach and finding clients and continuing to hustle even though you feel like you've gotten to a position where you've always wanted to be? Does that slow you down, or what do you do to continue getting the work you want?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier a little bit. I think he's somewhat surprised that I do a lot of outreach to clients, and I don't stop. Like if I see a project I like or someone has a brand I'm interested in, like I'll hit up like Hermes online or some fancy brand. I'll be like, here's something I made for you, and I'll DM it, and I'll just throw that stuff into the wind constantly. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's crazy, but yeah, I feel like if you like make something and complete it, brands are 1,000,000,000% more ready to work with you. Like I will like make snowboards for a brand, and I don't even know anyone there, but I'll just like put all the Burtons. It's all online. You can grab their logos, you can grab all the artwork, and you can grab the templates. Everything is available to you, right? So you can get a working file done for a client, and you just send it right to them. Just be like, hi, this is what I'm thinking for your brand. And that might be like, oh, we already have white boards. We're looking for something that's more like blue. Change the color. But then you have a job, and you've already finished it, kind of. So I do a lot of stuff like that. I'm just like, hi, I'll work for you, whether you like it or not. And it works. It really, really does. I hate when people say, I want to do something. I'm like, no, just do it. Like people still don't do it. Like, do it. You know what I mean? Make it, finish it. It's like, it's hard. Make a 1-page comic when you get home today. Like, you won't do it. Let's do it, Seriously. It's stupid, but it's true. Yeah, I've had it happen a lot. But you're just as good as your last idea. You have to keep that kind of mindset. It's like, is that my last thing that's going to be good that I've done? Then I don't know what you're doing with your life, really. Like, you should just keep moving forward, right? Like, if that's your last good thing, you can't make anything good again, what are you doing? Complaining? It's like you have to try to beat that, That's how I see it. I mean, it sucks. I've gotten ripped off hard. But you push, I get a lawyer.
With Jack's question
Yeah.
and how you've like reached out to people, have you been taken advantage of by doing that?
I've had people pitch entire television shows with my artwork before, and I won't be hired, but they'll take stuff off online and cut it out in Photoshop and be like, this is how we want the characters to look. Yeah, you can take advantage of all the time. It's just part of the game, really. You just gotta get good representation. I know I'm at a talent agency, and I have a good lawyer, and I have a manager. It seems like a lot, but if someone gets after you at this point in your career, like, they're gonna come after them, so it's not worth it. But yeah, I've been ripped off a lot. Yeah, it happens.
Real quick to add on that, what is your relationship with a manager? Because I know a lot of us might not have a manager yet, and what can we look out for? Because I know you have to have a lot of trust.
Yeah.
So what is that type of relationship that's positive, I guess?
Well, number one, they work for you, so they shouldn't be taking any money from you ever unless you're working, unless they can get you work. So like a good lawyer, a good agent, or a good manager don't ask for anything up front until the job is paid by the client. So if a lawyer's ever like, hey, like, pay me to do this, like, no, that's wrong. So that's part of it. So manager will get me more like general meetings with like, oh, I just met the head of animation at Warner Media Adult Animation, or I just met the head of film at Mattel, from the success of the Barbie movie, they want to make more stuff. So I'll do like these meetings. And then my like talent agency will push like bigger connections in town. Like you'll meet like middle level people in management, and then you'll meet like the head of the studio with your, does that make sense? It's like a step up. Like UTA will like, or CCA or WME, the big three, they'll like throw their weight around to get you in a room, So it's a little more power. But managers are great. Yeah.
What are your enjoy about the job and some things that are more difficult? And second question is, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing for it?
I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't know, like, so working at like a plant store or something, just like surfing more, surfing way more, I'm good at customer service. I like a job that like can be completed. Like I like to like put the chairs up, mop the floor, and like walk away. I think a lot of artists, we don't get that kind of, like all we do is like make things up for people all day long, and it's kind of relaxing when you just like have a job where you're like, that's over, I'm going home. So yes, that sounds cool to me, So I mean, everything should be up and down though. You should suffer. You shouldn't always be happy. Like no, like you should be bummed. You should hate your job sometimes, even if you're happy. Like there's no like, You know, there's no like, eternal happiness for anybody. You know, you suffer. That's how, you know, life is pain, art is suffering, you know? That's it. Let's go. That's not a bad thing. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
What? I think I would have been just have more confidence for real. You know what I mean? Just really trying to please people less and just do your art as hard as you can. I think that's something like, you know, just because you're the artist, like you're the person that's in control. Like you should just stand up for like what you like really believe in. I've definitely taken some compromises before that I wasn't happy with. You know, you don't got to be a difficult person, but I've definitely been like, oh, they'll just do that, and then you're like, oh, that turned out terrible. I should have told them to fix that. You know what I mean? You know, because I don't know, the client's wrong a lot. You know. But definitely, just confident in your own choices. You know, like that's, again, when it comes back to getting taken advantage of, you know it, like you feel it. It's a real emotion. Like, accept that. Yeah. All right, we good?
We good?
What do you
All
want to
right,
know?
let's hear it again for Jay Howell.
Right on, gang. Thank you. All right, thank you.